All right, so I know. So I figured after doing the VHS ranking, I was like, screw it, I'll do some more horror movie rankings because I haven't done that at all this month, and shame on me. And also, has anyone else felt like Halloween this October is just breezing by real fast? It feels like only yesterday was the first, and I know I had like a hurricane come through on my end, but like, feels like it's just kind of blown through. Am I right? Anyway. So, this time around, we're going to be ranking the Terrifier movies. Now, again, much like VHS, this franchise is still ongoing, and it's going to be cool to like revisit it at some point, at some time in the future. So, I thought it'd be kind of cool to like do a ranking of it. And technically, you could say like, oh, there's only 3 movies. Technically, there's 4. So I'm going to rank those 4 because I'm going to rank also the first movie that Art appeared in, All Hallows Eve, as well. As always with these ranking videos, this is just my opinion. If you think a movie should be higher or lower on the list, that's totally fine, and I'm always excited to hear where you guys stand with the movies. But anyway, let's start with ranking the start of this movie from worst to best. And I'm going to be honest, there's not really a worst movie here in any of these 4 films. There's not like a, worst Terrifier movie or anything like that. I just think that these movies all have their own strengths and weaknesses on all levels. Like, they all just have their own strengths and weaknesses in one way or another. So none of these movies suck, in my opinion. Honest to God, none of these movies suck. So let's get into it with the first movie, All Hallows Eve. This is where we get what is essentially proto-art. And the reason why it's kind of at the bottom of the list is not because it's bad, it's just we don't get a lot of Art, and he's more of like a wraparound character in showcases in a few stories here and there. So honestly, what we do get of Art is pretty cool, but it's more of like a taste of what Damien Leone wants to do with the character in the future. So that's kind of the big thing with this, is that it's not really Art's movie. That, and it's also, again, like, it's not even like David Howard Thornton, which is not bad. The guy the original actor for Art in All Hallows Eve just retired from acting. He didn't want to do it anymore. But yeah, it just gives us it's just not Art's movie, and also it just gives us a taste of what's to come in the future with Art the Clown in Terrifier and Leone himself. So moving on now to the next movie, and that is Terrifier. Terrifier, I'm going to be honest. The first time I watched Terrifier, I was like, it's just gore. And you know me, I love like some trashy gore films. And for the longest time, I was like, I'm just not feeling it. But whenever I revisit it, it does have that kind of trashy kind of feel. And I understand that's like what Leone was going for with the films. I really do. But I genuinely do like. I have a new appreciation for this movie. I really do. I have a genuine appreciation for the film. I think it does have a lot of strengths, but it's just again, it's like what I said with goddamn chair. It's like what I said with All Hallows Eve, where it's more like here we get Art full form, but it's more of a showcase of what Art can do. That's really what it is that it's more of a storyline for Art. And it's more of like showing Art rather than telling a story. And that's been kind of Leone's, depending on where you look at it, is kind of one of Leone's strengths and or weaknesses. I kind of lean towards the latter because it's more gore over story, but hey, still good. And again, the Saw kill. Woo! So yeah. So now you're probably wondering where these last 2 films are going to rank personally for me. And I'm going to tell you, at second place, it is Terrifier 3. Yeah, Terrifier 3, I did a full-blown review a week ago. If you haven't already, hit the link below in the description box and hit the first tier on Patreon if you want to hear my thoughts on Terrifier 3. I enjoyed it, but I think the writing was not the strong suit. It was more like the gore of it all. It was more like showcasing more gore than anything else. And I really do think that one of the problems going forward with Damien Leone is that once Terrifier 4 rolls around, one of the big weaknesses is going to be now you have to like up yourself every time. And Again, this was more like Terrifier 1's weakness, where it was more gore over story. And there's also like some character beats that got cut out, that apparently got cut out. Maybe once we get, because I'm sure we're going to get it, is an extended director's cut when it comes to Blu-ray. When it comes to Blu-ray and 4K, we're going to get like a full-on like extended cut of the movies of this movie, because there are some things, especially like a few deaths. I'm not going to spoil anything for those who haven't seen the movie. There are a few deaths in this movie that, like, wow, I wish we got to see that, because that felt really important. But still, the character of Sienna is a great final girl. So there's just some brutal deaths in here, and art continues to be awesome. But having said that, my favorite of the Terrifier franchise is Terrifier 2. This made me not only appreciate Art as a character, but also made me go back and watch Terrifier 1 and be like, you know, maybe I just treated you too harshly. Terrifier 2 is definitely where the franchise really got its footing. This is Terrifier 3 was like an early stage, but Terrifier 2 was solidifying Art as a horror icon, as, you know, the next big thing in horror. And gave us a new final girl who's phenomenal in Sienna, and some really brutal deaths, like the bedroom death. But this movie is definitely, in terms of story, is it a little long? Yeah, but I feel like it's nicely paced, and Sienna and Jonathan's relationship as brother and sister is really solid. I also really love a lot of, like, just the kills and the practical effects, and David Howard Thornton really, this is where he really comes into his own as Art the Clown. But yeah, so there you go, guys. It's not a long video, but I thought, hey, we got basically 4 Terrifier movies. Let's rank them. And again, I will probably come back to this and do another ranking once we get a new Terrifier, once we get Terrifier 4 out. Or maybe I'll just wait for Terrifier, because Leone did say he has ideas for at least 2 more movies. So maybe I'll wait until like Terrifier 4 and 5 come out, or whatever happens next. But yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, where do the Terrifier films rank for you? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.